Good afternoon. Welcome to Pike Creek Farm. My name is Renee, and if this is your first time here, thank you so much for stopping in. Today, I'm getting ready for tomato season. My tomatoes are starting to ripen, but there's not a lot yet. But I like to do my tomatoes in like quarters in their own juice, and I like to season some of them. And I'm gonna make up my seasoning blend so they're ready to go when it's canning time. I have to do it that day. And I can use any leftover for cooking too. And you can use these seasoning blends in any tomato canning recipe. Tomato sauce, crushed tomatoes, however you like to can your tomatoes, you can use these seasoning blends. And the blends I'm using come from the Ball Blue book. And there are 3 of them in this book. They have some others too, but these are the ones that I use, and I'm adding a new one. They have a Cajun, an Italian, which I always do the Italian, and a Mexican spice. I'm gonna add the Cajun this year because I think it would be really handy to have, whether it's like a pint of tomatoes and then I cook some rice and I cook up some shrimp and sausage and pour those tomatoes in, and I'm gonna have dinner fast. And if you've been to my channel before, you know I like fast food. And that's what canning does. It makes food fast. So I'm gonna bring it down. I'm going to put the blends in some jars. I have some lids. Some have been used and washed. And some are a brand that I didn't have a lot of luck with, at least for pressure canning. So I'm gonna use those to seal these, and I'll label them. And I will be able to, keep refilling this too throughout the year, because the blends are really good. So I'm gonna be canning tomatoes soon, and I will show you how I use them. But come on down and I will make up some spice blends for tomatoes. The first one we're gonna do is the Cajun spice blend. And it makes enough to season 6 pints or 3 quarts. So I would like to do more than that. So I'm going to double it. So I'll bring it down so you can see what I'm doing. I have my 1 teaspoon measuring spoon, because most of this is either 1.5 or 3 or 2 teaspoons. And since I'm gonna be doubling it, it will all be even. So the first thing for the Cajun spice blend is 3 teaspoons of chili powder. So I will need 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. And the first year I did this, I was just amazed at how easy it was to make homemade spaghetti sauce or chili. I mean, this Mexican one made making chili so quick and easy. 2 teaspoons of paprika for this Cajun spice blend. This is going to be very colorful. So I will need 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I found that these were really developed so that it's not too strong in the end product, the canned tomatoes. 1.5 teaspoons of onion flakes. Ooh. That one's not open. This one is. I bought a bunch of spices because I was out of some. So, okay, so I will need 3. And if you have your home dehydrated or freeze dried, you could use those. Next is garlic powder. It says 1.5, so 3 of that. 1.5 teaspoons of ground allspice, and that's what gives it a really distinct flavor. I know I make a jerk chicken and actually a jerk marinade, and we use it on venison a lot, and it just gives a different depth. So we need 3 of this. You know, if there's a spice you don't like, leave it out. If there's one you like really a lot, then add a little more. This is my first time doing the Cajun, so I'm following the directions. 1.5 teaspoons of dried thyme. So we need 3, since we're doubling. 1. I love thyme. It's one of the reasons I wanted to try this one, because I just love thyme. And I thought that would just add such a good flavor to the tomatoes. And the last thing is cayenne pepper, which we don't like a lot of heat. And it says 1 teaspoon. So that would be 2 if I follow. But I think I'm gonna stick to the 1. And I can always add more when I go to use it if I feel it needs it, rather than have jars of tomatoes that we don't like. So here's all the spices. There's no salt in these blends. You can add your salt when you're doing your tomatoes, or you can leave it out. So let's stir this all up. It is hot here today in Michigan. There it is. And I could fit a whole lot more in here if I wanted, but I thought doubling it was enough for the first time with the Cajun blend. It smells really good. Just a nice blend of everything. I'm anxious to use that. So I forgot to grab a marker. I'm gonna grab a marker because I have a feeling that some of these might look like the other. So this is Cajun Spice Blend. So this can go on the shelf. I can use it for cooking, but first I'm gonna use it for tomatoes. Next is gonna be the Italian. Got another jar, and this one I think I will triple because I really used it a lot. So I know I can make that many jars of tomatoes with Italian seasoning, and I will be happy with it. So the first is dried basil. Let's see if I have enough to do that much now that I think about it. Need 4 teaspoons. I thought I had more basil than this. There's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna do a double of this too. I don't have quite enough basil to do triple. So now we need thyme. Calls for 2 teaspoons of thyme, so it will be 4. Thyme's hard to get out. 3, 4. Oregano. So it calls for 2.5, so I'll need 5. So I already put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that was the oregano. Next is rosemary. I thought I had everything. I really did. We need 1.5, so double that, 3. You know, and you can make up your own seasoning blends to go in your tomato products too. If there's a flavor profile that your family uses a lot. Next is dried sage. I just experimented. I just used these one year on a whim, and I truly loved them. So now I've been using them for about 3 years now. Sage, 3. And I don't go real heavy on the sage. I didn't do a full 3. That's my personal taste. I love sage, but not necessarily too strong in my Italian seasoning. Garlic powder. One teaspoon, so that'd be 2. And I'm gonna add a little extra because we like garlic. Then the last ingredient is hot pepper flakes, and I'm not going to include those because we don't. Some in the family like hot pepper flakes, but not everyone, so they can just add it at the table. So stir this up, and it is 2 teaspoons per pint jar because it gives you enough seasoning to make 6 pint jars. So if you do quarts, you can do 4. If you don't want it so strong, put 3 teaspoons. Shake this up. And nice blend. Label it because you're not going to remember. Italian spice blend. But I made homemade spaghetti sauce in the crock pot. So easy with this Italian seasoned tomatoes. Okay, one more. And that is the Mexican. Great for chilies, great for enchiladas, even tacos. First step is chili powder. Oh, that's not the open one. And we'll double this one too, so they're all double. 6 teaspoons, so 12 teaspoons. Three, 4, 5, 6. That's only halfway there. You see, there's no vegetables. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, that smells good, just that. Next is cumin. And I love cumin. I just love it. I think it adds such a depth of flavor to anything Mexican. And this one has 2 teaspoons, so 4. There we go. It calls for oregano, and I'm gonna go grab my Mexican oregano. Okay, I have Mexican oregano. I ordered it on Amazon. If you don't have it, you can use the regular, but there is a difference in the flavor. This is, I guess, less sweet. So it calls for 2 teaspoons of dry oregano, so we need 4. Here, let me show you what it looks like. Two, 3, 4. You know, I think I'm going to add more and make this a triple batch because I have everything to do that. And I do a lot of chili stuff. So I need 2 more teaspoons of oregano. And I will have all these down there, what's in each one. I need 2 more teaspoons of cumin. And a whole lot more chili powder. 6 teaspoons. I might have to get into the next jar. There we go. That was 6. So now we're to the garlic powder. And it calls for 2, so I need 6. Calls for 2, so I need 4. No, 6, I was right. So I'm tripling. I don't know if that was 5 or 6. I'm gonna add an extra one. And then ground coriander. Here's the coriander. Calls for 2 teaspoons, so I will need to do 6. The last ingredient that it has is seasoned salt, and I don't usually have seasoned salt, so I'm gonna add some onion, some salt, and a little bit of paprika, because that's basically what's in seasoned salt. Blend my stuff up. Here's my salt. I'm gonna put 3 teaspoons of salt. I'm gonna put a teaspoon. Humidity got to this some. One of onion powder and a half a paprika. So that will equal the 4.5 that it would have been. Put the lid on, label it. Shake it up. It smells so wonderful. Now I want chili. What I really like is that it doesn't just scream chili powder. There's the other spices that blend in and just give it such a great flavor. So if you use chili packets, you don't need to do that if you mix up your own like this. So that's all there is to it. Now whenever I go to canned tomatoes, I just have to grab whatever ones I want, put 2 teaspoons in a pint. I usually put like 3 heaping in a quart, and I'm good to go. Okay, this book is well used, as you can tell. And this was the first place I saw the different spice blends. And I'm really happy that I tried them. You know, I just did a few jars the first year because I wasn't sure. Well, then they were the first jars that were gone. So now I know. So I can't juggle 3. Here's the Italian. Here's the Cajun. Let's shake that up more. Nice thing about the glass jars is you can see if they're blended. And the Mexican. So I will be using these soon, and I will bring you along as I do, and I'll even show you when I start using them to cook. I hope this helps you with your canning journey to personalize it some, and you know, when the tomatoes start, there's a lot of them, but it's so much fun to have these home canned tomatoes with seasoning on our shelves. I just love it, and I hope you do too. Thank you so much for watching, and if you like this video and share it, it really helps my channel, and I really appreciate everyone being here. See you next time at Pike Creek Farm.